You may be seated. Thank you, Cammie and Nolan. We appreciate you sharing your talents with us this morning. I am now pleased to introduce Douglas Christensen, 9th Chancellor of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Chancellor Christensen.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for coming this morning to the greatest day in the life of a university, helping us to celebrate an exciting and important occasion, commencement. Cammie and Nolan, thank you very much for your talents. We appreciate that so much. Cammie, it's nice to have you back on campus. And Nolan, I hope we see you in a couple weeks for class, okay? Yeah, where are we at? There you go. What a significant event today is. Not only for you as graduates, but for everyone who's supported you in one way or another. This is a celebration of a great achievement. Now, all graduation ceremonies are special, but today's a little different. Today is a unique summer commencement, and it's different from our spring and winter commencements in that it's held obviously in a smaller venue, and there are a little fewer graduates. The ceremony's a little shorter. That's good, but by no means is it less important. In many institutions, what occur in summer graduations, they get your diploma through the mail, or you go to the registrar's office, pay your library fine, get your diploma. But here at UNK, our community believes that commencement, no matter what time of year, is all about students. And many of today's graduates are here. They've taken a different path, many of them unconventional routes, to achieve their educational goals. Your paths may be a little longer, your sacrifice a little bit greater, and each story is different, and in each way inspiring. And what we really should do today is have each graduate talk about their path to graduation. They're important to all of us. That's the reason we have a ceremony today. We want to celebrate those accomplishments. This also is the formal end to learning. It's been an extremely important phase. It's probably not your first phase of learning, and hopefully it will not be your last. Today, along with your diploma, I know that you will take with you the understanding that learning is a lifetime endeavor. It never stops. There's no finish line. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the administration, thank you for choosing UNK. We're confident that your experience here will pay you tremendous dividends. And we want to wish each one of you congratulations and thank you for participating this morning.
Thank you, Chancellor Christensen. At this time, please welcome Kent Schroeder of Kearney, member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. Regent Schroeder.
Good morning, graduates and the balance of the support team that's here today. On behalf of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, it's my pleasure to offer our congratulations on your successful endeavors at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I think, I have for 16 years walked to this podium quite a few times. And I think I can speak for Regent Claire and frankly the balance of the regents, that when I stand up here and look out at each of you dressed in your graduation robes, it's an inspiration, truly an inspiration. The endeavor that you've set out to achieve is to better understand not only yourself, but the world that surrounds you. So let me leave you with a thought that I hope you will cherish and think about the balance of your careers. This is a quote from Stephen Covey. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, and then to be understood. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Schroeder. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. We are pleased to also welcome Regent Tim Clare of Lincoln. Regent Clare, would you please stand and be recognized? I would like to take a moment to also introduce some of our special guests and members of our platform party who will not be introduced later in the ceremony. I ask that they stand as I call their names, and please hold your applause until all have been introduced. In the audience, former State Senator Jim Cuddeback of Riverdale, former State Senator Joel Johnson and Mrs. Jill Johnson of Kearney, Mayor of Kearney, Stan Klaus. On the stage, Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, Barbara Johnson, Director of Athletics, Paul Plinsky, and Dean for the Division of Student Affairs, Joseph Oravec. Student gonfaloniers are selected by deans and the chancellor on the basis of noteworthy achievement, activity, and scholarship to carry the banners for their individual colleges. I ask that they stand and be recognized as I call their names. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Paul Wagner, Graduate College. Damon Magnuson, College of Business and Technology. Lindsay Liebarger, College of Education. Joeen Crocker, College of Fine Arts and Humanities. Zachary Porter, College of Natural and Social Sciences. Each commencement, members of the university's administration and faculty are invited to nominate students from among the graduates for the honor of delivering a brief address on behalf of the graduating class. Today's speaker is Brandon Drews of Genoa, Nebraska. The son of Ed and Janice of Genoa, Brandon will graduate summa cum laude from the College of Fine Arts and Humanities with an organizational communication major and a business management and marketing support track. Brandon's classroom excellence speaks for itself. A grade point average of 3.98 on a scale of 4.0, and he has been very involved in campus life. He's a member of UNK's Honors Program, a Peter Kiewit Legacy Scholar, and a member of Mortarboard. He was a Chancellor's Student Ambassador, a recipient of the Nestor Student Leadership Award. He held leadership positions, including president in Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, was inducted into Lambda Pi Eta Communication Honor Society, and was an active member of UNK's Newman Center. He also participated in student research and UNK's Study Abroad program. In fact, he just recently returned from study in Ireland, where beyond his studies, he met Ireland's president, experienced St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, and sat in the second row at the Easter Mass administered by Pope Francis. Brandon will attend graduate school this fall at the University of Kansas, where he plans to study rhetoric in the Communication Studies Department. He has also accepted appointment as a graduate teaching assistant at KU. Please welcome Brandon Drews to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2014.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Members of the Board of Regents, Chancellor Christensen, Senior Vice Chancellor Bysick, Vice Chancellor Johnson, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, family, friends, and fellow classmates. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to speak on behalf of the UNK class of 2014. My goal today is simple. It's to follow the advice James Roosevelt received from his father, Franklin D. Roosevelt, in regards to giving a speech. He said, "Be sincere, be brief, be seated." I'd like to begin with a quote by the philosopher Socrates. "The unexamined life is not worth living." This quote relates to why we are gathered here today. One of the quote's interpretations is that throughout our lives, we need to examine how we arrived where we are. Otherwise, we forget why in the past we worked towards the present. When reflecting on this idea and its connection to graduation, I began to think about my UNK experience. The quote helped me realize how the past 4 years has shaped the graduates into who we are today. It reminded me that graduation is a day of reflection, recognition, and taking the next step. Whether you're a student, parent, faculty, or staff member of the university, we all have memories and experiences tying us here to someone, making us all a part of the Loper family. Reflecting upon these UNK experiences is what makes us Lopers. For some, it started at the beginning of the college search, in taking a campus tour, which helped decide to attend UNK. For the parents who helped move their student to Kearney to begin college, they only hoped and dreamed that graduation would eventually come. For the professors and university staff, the graduation ceremony is an exciting time to see how students they met as freshmen turned into mature college graduates. However, the professors also had another role leading to today. They challenged students in numerous ways over the years through stressful exams and long papers, which may have forced some students to spend some extra quality time with Calvin T. Library. The professors also mentored the students leading up to graduation, in which the advisor calmly sat the student down and reassured them that yes, they were going to graduate today. As we move on to become alumni today, we cannot forget the campus community, the education we received, or the memories we have made here. Today is also a day of recognition for the students and the university. To denote the special occasion, students dress in attire of cap and gown. As graduates soon cross the stage to receive their degrees, to feeling the realization of turning the tassel, today marks a distinct moment in time that signifies these students as now college graduates. We as students wish to recognize those most important to us, who've helped us get to where we are today. Family, friends, professors, mentors, and everyone gathered here to help celebrate with us. If it were not for the support from all of you, the class of 2014 would not be crossing the stage today. The last people we need to recognize are those who cannot be here with us today, and those who have and who are serving to protect our freedom in the armed forces. While recognition is an important part of today, addressing the nerves still out there in the crowd for the graduates who may not know their future plans just quite yet is also necessary. It is only correct that as we leave college that I quote the classic educator, Dr. Seuss, who should guide us into our future ambitions by saying, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the guy who will decide where to go." You have to make your own decisions in life from here on out, UNK graduates of 2014, with a solid foundation of a quality education and the support from those here in the crowd. You can go wherever you want to go. As we move on as the UNK class of 2014, I'd like to conclude today by wishing upon all of you an Irish blessing I learned while overseas. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you, and God bless.
Brandon, thank you. Congratulations on your graduation. Chancellor Christensen.
Brandon, I see that study abroad program did have an impact on you. You know, celebrating St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, I could see why one would want to be in the second row at Mass the next day, but, you know, was it that bad you needed the Pope? I don't. Brandon, it's an honor to have you as a student. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to work with you as a student ambassador, and clearly you've made this campus a better place. Suzanne George Bloomfield is today's keynote speaker. To many here, she doesn't need any introduction. She has served as a distinguished member of the faculty at this institution since 1979. She earned her baccalaureate and master's degree here at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and her PhD in English from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Her areas of specialty are 19th century American literature, Western and multicultural literature, biography and memoir, and English education. Her literally dozens of state and national awards have included fellowships from the Martin Distinguished Professorship, UNK's Leland Holt Distinguished Faculty Award, the Pratt Hines Foundation Faculty Award in both the categories of scholarship research and in teaching, and the Dilbert and Edith Wilder Award for exceptional service to Western literature from their association. In 2013, she was named UNK's Distinguished Alumni of the Year. Dr. Bloomfield is the author of creative nonfiction, essays, poetry, and fiction. Her 10 books include 3 national award-winning biographies, and her hundreds of published essays, poems, book reviews, photography, and other works include a manuscript in progress, Never Sell the Land, a love story of the Great Plains. It is a memoir and cultural history. The title of Dr. Bloomfield's speech this morning is Life Accumulates. It's my extreme honor to welcome her to the podium and to introduce to you Dr. Suzanne George Bloomfield. Suzanne?
Thank you, Chancellor Christian, for the kind introduction. And welcome members of the Boards of Regents, faculty, students, guests, and special friends. 46 years ago, on August 2nd, 1968, I would have been sitting right there with those of you in the undergraduate class waiting to receive my diploma. I remember my feelings back then. They were a mixture of excitement, pride, relief, and a little bit of fear as I faced an entirely new life that was going to await me. No longer would I be a student, but in 3 weeks I would be a teacher, imparting my wisdom and my knowledge to eager students. I'm feeling the same mixture of emotions today as I talk to you as I did 46 years ago. When Chancellor Christensen asked me to present this speech, I was honored and surprised, but full of doubts as to actually how much profound wisdom with a capital W I would be able to impart with you. I felt much more confident in 1968. My son didn't help my self-confidence any when he said, "Mom, that means you need to give life-altering advice." All of a sudden, the line from T.S. Eliot's poem, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, made sense to me. So how should I presume? And how should I begin? In the years since I first graduated, I have come to understand the irony of Socrates' statement that true knowledge comes in knowing that you know nothing. John Lennon said it more simply: the more I see, the less I know for sure. Well, I'm still waiting to feel wise, but I have learned a few things in the years since I graduated. So I decided that rather than conveying profound wisdom, I would share with you some of my experiences and what I learned from them. When I give workshops on writing biographies and family histories, I always tell people that you don't just sit down and write a book from beginning to end, but that books accumulate. You gather information and ideas, you edit, you revise, you delete, you add, and then finally you have a book. And life is the same way. Life accumulates over time. I remember my resume back in 1968, when I used large bold-face headings, 12-point font, and large margins. It almost was one page. Today, my curriculum vitae, or my CV, which is a fancy name for an academic resume, is 22 pages long, single-spaced, 10-point font. How did my short resume grow into such a long one? Basically, I had to learn to shut my eyes, take a deep breath, and jump. In other words, I had to confront some intimidating challenges in my life, just as you all will too. One of my early challenges came when I was in college in my beginning swimming class with Joan Bailey. I'm sure all of you have a horror story about one of your classes. Hopefully it wasn't one of mine. It was a 1-hour credit course that I had put off to the very last semester, and it was required for graduation. And I was terrified because I was a farmer's daughter and we didn't go swimming very much. For one of the requirements in the class, I had to jump off the high tower. Now that may not seem like much of a deal to you, but I was terrified. Climbing the ladder was easy, but when I stood on the end of the springy board and looked down 700 feet to the water, my stomach did a half gainer. All I had to do was take one more step and I would graduate. I wanted to climb back down, but I shut my eyes, took a deep breath, plugged my nose, and jumped. That was the longest few seconds of my life. But I survived, passed the class, and graduated. Now I could add another line to my resume. My next challenge occurred when I began my first job, a situation all of you, especially you undergraduates, will be confronting soon. My first position was teaching English and French at Axtell Public Schools. I thoroughly enjoyed my classes, all except my sophomore English class. The 30 students in the class informed me that they had sent their last English teacher to Ingleside, the insane asylum at Hastings at that time, and I was next. After about a month of trying to teach them Julius Caesar and the 500-word essay, I was beginning to believe them. They would not do their assignments, they would not willingly participate in class discussion, and they were rowdy in class. I felt like Caesar being confronted by Cassius and Brutus in the Senate, their knives drawn. Opening the door to that classroom was like diving off of the high tower. But I shut my eyes, I took a deep breath, and I stepped into that classroom every day. To make a long story short, that class taught me how to be a teacher, and they became my favorite class. Like me, you will discover that there is still a lot to learn after you have received your diplomas. Although you have acquired a lot of well-rounded knowledge here at UNK, your most important lesson will be how to be a lifelong learner. And as your knowledge grows, your resumes will grow too. However, as some of you will discover, or perhaps you already have, that once you have reached this stage in your education, whether it's your bachelor's or your master's degree, and the years seem to be flowing smoothly along, sometimes life may force you to face more challenges, perhaps in moving or in changing or being compelled to change careers. When I became a single parent, I discovered I couldn't find a full-time job as a teacher. I had too much experience in education. I had acquired my master's degree by then to be hired in the public schools, and fortunately that has changed today. But I didn't have enough education to teach on the college level. I had been teaching as an adjunct here at UNK and I loved it, so I decided to commute to Lincoln to earn a PhD. I remember walking onto the UNL campus and looking up at all of the tall buildings and listening to the students walking by me, many of them speaking in foreign languages. It was nothing like Axtell. My next culture shock occurred when I entered my first class, the history and theory of composition. I was a 36-year-old mother and ex-farmer's wife, and I was surrounded by students in their 20s. To make matters worse, when the professor began his speech, it was like he was talking in a foreign language. Terms like Cartesian empiricism, meta-epistemology, and David's conception of triangulation. They swirled in my head. I frantically wrote down unfamiliar words, while my younger classmates nodded and smiled knowingly. I wanted to run back to my car and drive home, but I didn't. I shut my eyes, I took a deep breath, and I stayed in that classroom. To make a long story short, I aced that class. And after commuting to Lincoln for 5 years while teaching at UNK and raising 2 teenagers, my dissertation was accepted for publication by the University of Nebraska Press. I survived my jump off of that high tower, and I was hired as an assistant professor at UNK in 1988. Now my resume would really expand. Since then, I have faced other challenges when I had to shut my eyes, take a deep breath, and jump, like when I was asked to chair and fund a statewide Nebraska Book Festival for the first time, when I was elected president of Western Literature Association and organized and funded an international conference, and when Chancellor Christensen asked me to research, write, and publish a history of the university in 18 months. Each time I wondered, what have I gotten myself into? But each time I face challenges like these in my life, I gain so much. I surface stronger after each jump, and I end up in places that I never even considered. My life accumulated many new and rewarding experiences each time I took that one step into the unknown. Each time I persisted. 46 years ago, I never ever dreamed that I would one day become a university professor. And here I am, giving a commencement address, no less. Your lives will accumulate too. I know from hearing stories from my students that my life is not unique. In fact, many of my online students are military veterans who have returned from active duty, and the fears they have faced down make mine seem so inconsequential. People are often telling us to step out of our comfort zones to succeed in life. Even Eleanor Roosevelt advised long ago, do one thing every day that scares you. A popular slogan for the 1990s for an apparel company was, no fear, and it could be seen on everything from bumper stickers to t-shirts to coffee mugs. Jim Hancock, then the marketing director, stated, we're about taking on the challenge and fear that's in any kind of task and overcoming. If you follow this advice, if you just shut your eyes, take a deep breath, and jump, if you're willing to accept the challenges that will confront you in all stages of your life, trust in yourself, take one day at a time, 1 year at a time, you will accumulate talents in your life that you never ever dreamed would be possible. I know you can do it. Thank you.
Dr. Bloomfield, on behalf of your colleagues, thank you and congratulations. Now we have arrived at that special moment, the conferring of degrees. We will begin with the awarding of the graduate degrees. Candidates will be presented by Dr. Kenya Taylor, Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs and Dean of Graduate Studies and Research.
Will the candidates for graduate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, these applicants have fulfilled all the requirements established by the Board of Regents for their respective graduate degrees. Therefore, the graduate faculty recommends that these candidates be granted the graduate degree along with the privileges and responsibilities that accompany the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and upon the recommendation of the faculty here at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate graduate degree and admit you to the rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Associate Dean of Graduate Studies and Research, Catherine Zuckweiler, will read the candidates' names. Hooding the candidates will be Department Chair and Associate Professor Frank Tankerang, Department of Economics, College of Business and Technology; Professor David Hoff, Department of Counseling and School Psychology, College of Education; Associate Professor Martha Cruz, Department of English, College of Fine Arts and Humanities; and Professor Janet Steele, Department of Biology, College of Natural and Social Sciences.
The Graduate College is proud to congratulate these graduates. Earning the Master of Science degree, Paul Gerhardt Wagner II. Earning the Education Specialist degree, Bryce Robert Jorgensen. Earning the Master of Arts degree, Ryan Allen Drescher. Earning the Master of Arts in Education degree, Anthony Vincent Aliano. Kelly Ann Bauer. John Paul Doré Butcher. Rachel Nicole Carrizales. Magali Castillo. Angela A. Clevenger. Laura L. Cushing. Ashley B. Dornhoff. Laura Ann Hers. Christopher Scott Kelly. Farron Dean Klingelhofer. Janelle Lynn Kowalik. Mitchell Robert Kurtenbach. Chen Liu. Brittany Nicole Lurs. Tara E. Miller. Carmen M. Miller Mackey. Kelsey Renee Raymond. Connor Scott Singheisen. Danielle L. Sloan. Lindsay Gabel Bowen. Earning the Master of Science degree, Magdalena E. Golenia. Charles D. Steele. Tressa May Beckler. Earning the Master of Science in Education degree, Vicki Marie Johnson. David John Emanuel. Samantha Marie Halstead. Dustin Matthew Kinnison. Amber C. Max. Marcy A. Veach. Good job, Lori. Lori A. Weed Skarka. Courtney D. Zwink. Earning a Master's of Business Administration, Alex Nicole Frederick. Angela Marie Zigafus. And finally, the Master of Science degree presented posthumously to Deborah Popejoy. Accepting the degree on behalf of her family is Dr. Janet Steele, Program Director.
Chancellor Christensen, these are our recipients of our graduate degrees. Will all of you please join me in extending them our congratulations?
Congratulations, graduates. Dr. Charles Bisek, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs, will now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, I am happy to present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in their specialized areas. They have completed all the requirements for the degrees as prescribed by the University of Nebraska at Kearney and the Board of Regents. It is the recommendation of the faculty that they be granted their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree and admit you to the fellowship of educated women and men with all of its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Assisting with the presentation of the undergraduate degrees will be the deans of our 4 academic colleges: Tim Burkink, Business and Technology; Ed Scantling, Education; Bill Germa, Fine Arts and Humanities; and John LeDuc, College of Natural and Social Sciences. Reading the names of the graduates will be Associate Dean and Professor of Management Susan Jensen, College of Business and Technology; Associate Dean and Professor of Teacher Education Dennis Potoff, College of Education; Associate Dean and Associate Professor of Modern Languages Darren Snyder, College of Fine Arts and Humanities; and Assistant Professor of Social Work Christina Sogar, College of Natural and Social Sciences. Undergraduate degrees will be presented first to candidates who have achieved academic distinction.
Brandon Charles Drews, College of Fine Arts and Humanities, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Lindsay Brooke Leibarger, College of Education, Bachelor of Arts in Education, summa cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Talcott, College of Education, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Audrey Ann Ballou, College of Business and Technology, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Shelby Maloli, College of Natural and Social Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Zachary Ross Porter, College of Natural and Social Sciences, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. This concludes the presentation of the honor graduates. Would you please join me in extending our congratulations to them? And now it's my honor to present graduates receiving the baccalaureate degree from our College of Business and Technology. Damon Don Magnuson. Marie Ann Boetker. Cesar Chinchilla Cruz. Jessica Marie Eastburn. Samantha Jo Ferguson. Michael B. Hawes. Catherine Rose Horn. Rebecca L. Kimmons. Sergio M. Lara. Michael Dean Runge. Alexandria Sprigg. Matthew D. Stirrup. Caitlin Christina Sullivan. Garrett J. Swoboda. Cody Robert Erwiller. Brandon Wayne Wallace. Megan A. Warner. Are these college of eds? You college of ed? That's right. Okay. Okay.
College of Education is extremely proud of the following graduates. Jordan M. Berry. Danielle Jo Kuhn. John S. Decker. Helen Catherine DeVos. Allison Johanna Dush. Aaron L. Garza. Benjamin Allen Gilming. Sarah Elizabeth Hicks. Mary Ellen Pesavento. Peter Rasmussen. Jordan K. Schuyler. Ashley Ray Slope. Kara Marie Stevens. Joshua Thomas Van Nerden. Craig James Woken. Caitlin Patrice Roussan. This is finals right here.
The faculty of the College of Fine Arts and Humanities congratulates the following graduates. Joeen Lee Crocker. Deanna L. Thrush. Stephanie Marie Benish. Tyler M. Cavalli. Adriana Yesenia Tarrin. Kelly R. Downey. Jacqueline N. Westison.
The College of Natural and Social Sciences would like to congratulate all the students receiving degrees today. Amanda J. Meyer. Matthew J. Carzales. Ryan Lee Figgins. Jeff Adam Hopkinson. David Kareem McCrae. Samantha Jo Mitchell. Mark R. Monahan. Shane Michael Smith. JC Ann Wright. Amanda Catherine Tay.
Chancellor Christensen, these are the baccalaureate graduates. Will you all please join me in extending our congratulations to them?
Thank you, Dr. Bisek. Congratulations to our baccalaureate degree recipients. Chancellor Christensen.
We're just about done. At this time, I'd ask everyone in the audience or on our stage who is a UNK, a Kearney State, or a Kearney State Teachers College graduate, would you please stand and be part of our tassel turning ceremony this morning? Just stand, okay, thank you. Now, just a second. Graduates, would you please stand? The turning of the tassel is a time-honored tradition, and it symbolizes the transition from baccalaureate candidate to graduate. It is a privilege well earned. Alumni, faculty, family, and guests, would you please give a warm and hearty welcome to the newest member of our Alumni Association, the graduating class of 2014. Graduates, it's time to turn your tassel. You may be seated. Thank you. Dr. Bloomfield, thank you for your remarks. You are UNK. What a great story. Thank you so much. We also appreciate your lifetime of service to higher education. I want to thank a group of people who have contributed immensely to your lives, graduates, and those of the member of our faculty and emeriti faculty. Would you please stand and receive our appreciation this morning? Thank you. There's a number of staff who have worked tirelessly for actually months to make sure that today happens, all the way from the programs to making sure that your name is spelled right to making sure that all of us are in the right place at the right time to do the right things. Would you please help me thank the staff for their hard work? Education's not a singular event. For the past few years, you've had the privilege of being motivated and inspired by each other, by your professors, and you've probably surpassed all of the goals that you had. Because I think everybody at the beginning says, I'm not sure I can do this. Tomorrow begins that task of practically applying everything that you've learned and how to think and how to understand. And to borrow Dr. Bloomfield's words, life does accumulate. Today's a great accomplishment. You've accumulated a lot as you've started today. Life is not a series of multiple choice questions. Life's a series of very difficult answers that you have to balance the difference between what is right and what is sometimes easy. And we know that no one here at UNK can make those decisions for you, but we believe firmly that UNK has prepared you to make those decisions and that you'll apply your knowledge and that you will continue to learn. And whether it's your first degree or your last degree, that degree requires some maintenance, constant learning. The good news is you know how to do that, and as an educated person, you'll take that responsibility and use it well for the benefit of all of us, and we appreciate that. We hope that the opportunities you've been given here at UNK will pay off for the rest of your life. And we don't have all the money in the world to go out and advertise. We can't talk to the world about what a great place UNK is, but we have something better than money. We have you. And we hope that you will tell others about your educational experiences here at UNK and call this a place of pride, your alma mater. Thank you for participating today, and congratulations to each one of you.
Thank you, Chancellor. And again, thanks to all of you for being with us this morning to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. I want to remind everyone of the picnic that will follow this ceremony. This picnic is held only at summer commencement and is hosted for our graduates and their guests and for everyone who assists with the ceremony. Please join us for food and fellowship under the tent just south of this building. And now, I ask the audience to please remain seated until the commencement recessional has been completed. University Marshal, Would you please prepare for the recessional? Will the stage party and university faculty please stand? Head Marshal Tuttle, Mr. Shulwin, you may begin the recessional.